हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी सन माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम ऑल ग्लोरी श्री शिला प्रभुपाद गुरु महाराज
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी దండవత్ ప్రణామం
యా మాతాజీ మీరు సిస్టమ్ ముందు ఉన్నారా మాతాజీ
అవును ప్రభుజీ ఇప్పుడే ఆన్ చేశా
ఎస్ మీరు మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి చూసారా మన గ్రూప్ లో
అవునా నేను చూడలేదు ప్రభుజీ ఒక్క నిమిషం చూస్తా
యా మీరు హోస్ట్ గా ఉండండి మాతాజీ అట్లనే గౌరంగ దర్శన్ పీడిఎఫ్ ఓపెన్ చేయండి డీటెయిల్స్ నేను మొబైల్లో ఉన్నా లేదంటే నేనే కనెక్ట్ అయ్యవని
మీరు నన్ను హోస్ట్ చేసేసారా ప్రభుజీ
చేస్తున్నా యా డన్
ఒక్క నిమిషం లెట్ మీ గెట్ ఆన్ టు ద వేదాబేస్
యా
అచ్చా వేదాబేస్ కాదు కదా వీ హ్యావ్ టు
నిన్న అన్ని కంప్లీట్ చేసినాము ట్రాన్స్లేషన్స్ ఆ పీడిఎఫ్ ఒకసారి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి లెట్ us read through మాతాజీ
యా ప్రభుజీ డూయింగ్ Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah. You can start with the Mangalacharana prayer and present.
Okay. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. ఇప్పుడు ప్రభుజీ నమో విష్ణుపాదాయను
యాక్చువల్గా ఫుల్ ఉన్నాయి చిన్న చేస్తాం కాబట్టి సింపుల్ గా మధ్యాహ్న తర్వాత ప్రభుపాద ప్రణతి నమో విష్ణుపాద నమస్తే
నమో విష్ణుపాదాయ కృష్ణ పృష్ఠాయ భూతలే శ్రీమతే భక్తి వేదాంత స్వామి నితి నామినే నమస్తే సరస్వతి దేవే గౌరవాణి ప్రచారిణే నిర్విశేష శూన్యవాది పాశ్చాత్య దేశతారిణి హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ్ సారీ ప్రభుజీ జై శ్రీ కృష్ణ చైతన్య ప్రభు నిత్యానంద శ్రీ అద్వైత గదాధార శ్రీవాసాది గౌర భక్త వృంద హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ 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 హరే హరే నాకు ఫుల్ డే అలాగా ఫ్లో గుర్తుంది ప్రభుజీ నాకు సడన్ గా మధ్యలో కట్ చేయాలంటే ఎక్కడ కట్ చేయాలో తెలియదు
అట్లా అది చేద్దాం అది ఎందుకంటే అది రెగ్యులర్ చదువుతున్నాం కాబట్టి సింపుల్ షార్ట్ ప్రేయర్ ఓకే యూ కెన్ డు దట్ ఆల్సో నో ప్రాబ్లం yes that is better actually
yeah
we'll do I mean
can I should I do Prabhuji or should we start
you can do but directly jump to the section it's already repeated you can go there.
From where I should start?
1 2 3 no? The glory of knowledge about Lord Krishna. You just go through the section directly. Those verses.
Yeah. Once. Okay. చైతన్య మనం ఇష్టమైపోయింది వందే ఓకే నేను మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను ప్రభుజీ నాకు ఒక ఫ్లో
మీ ఫ్లోలో ఎస్ మస్తు అది మన భగవద్గీతలో కూడా ఉంటుంది, అది రెగ్యులర్గా అది కూడా మనం చేస్తున్నాము. యా చేయండి, మీరు చేయండి. ఎస్ వై డోంట్ బి రిమెంబర్ ఆల్ ది
ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Yes, Prabhuji. Shall we start? Hare Krishna.
మాధవ్ చెప్పండి. ఫుల్ మోడ్ లో పెట్టండి, అది ఆఫే కనిపిస్తుంది.
ఓకే, డౌన్లోడ్ చేస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు Prabhuji ఓకేనా?
Yeah, no, it's fine. You can directly jump into sections, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, here shall we start here?
Yeah, you can start with that linking point.
Okay. In the first 6 chapters, the living entity, sorry. In the first 6 chapters, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul, capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of chapter 6, it has been clearly stated that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, Madgatenantaratmana, or Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga, called Bhakti Yoga 6.47. From this chapter, Krishna begins to explain the process of Bhakti Yoga elaborately. Earlier, Krishna spoke of attaining liberation by working with detachment, renunciation, and action. Now he'll speak about devotion in action. Of all the limbs of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, or hearing about the Supreme Lord, is foremost, by which one can know in full the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations. Now, in the 7th chapter, Krishna asks Arjuna to hear about him. Yes. Prabhuji, I can't see the participants. Can you
Mataji?
coordinate that?
What Mataji?
I can't see the participant's name actually unless I go into the screen. Okay. Aryan Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, I'll participate, but you can scroll up the thing, right? You can
Yeah,
do that, no?
I can do all that, yes.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't see
Okay.
the participant's name directly on the screen.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yes, yes. I will read this section.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. The glory of knowledge about Lord Krishna. Hearing reveals knowledge about Krishna. O Arjuna, now please hear, Shrunu, how by taking shelter of me, Madashraya, and practicing Bhakti Yoga Yunjan, with mind attached to me, Maya Sakta Manaha. You can know me in full, Jnasyasi Samagram, free from all doubts, Asamshayam. Maya Sakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjam Madashraya, Asamshayam Samagram Mam, Yata Jnashyasi Tashkrunu. Note point actually, this one, complete knowledge of the Lord includes knowledge of matter, spirit, and the source and controller of both. God. Actually, it is not possible to know Krishna in full. Here, uh, Krishna is going to give knowledge of the essential principles or facts about himself, the Supreme God and his diverse energies, but the details are unlimited. Jnana and Vijnana about Krishna. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyami aseshataha. I will explain to you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal about my material and spiritual energies, and numinous about my personality and sweetness. Numinous. Okay. Yajnatva neha bhuyo nyaj jnatvayam avashishyate. Knowing this, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Greatness and sweetness of Krishna. Generally, jnana refers to theoretical knowledge and vijnana refers to realized knowledge or practical knowledge. Realizing Krishna's sweetness, vijnana, is greater than knowing his energies, jnana. Krishna describes jnana in chapter 7 to 8, vijnana in chapter 9, and both in chapter 10 and 11. Third one, rarity of realized knowledge, vijnana. Manusyanam sahasreshu, out of many thousands among men. Kaschid yatati siddhaye, one may endeavor for perfection and attains it. Yatatam api siddhanam, of those who have achieved perfection. Kaschin mam veti tattvataha, hardly anyone knows me in truth. In knowing Krishna as is tattvataha, one realizes Krishna is the possessor of unlimited, inconceivable energies, the cause of everything, as a jewel of unlimited auspicious qualities such as omniscience, omnipotence, and affection for his devotees. Yeah. This section, Samyukta Mataji, kindly read 4 to 12.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah,
4 to
please.
12, knowledge of Lord Krishna's energies. Gist of the section. Krishna is the source of both the material and spiritual energies. Everything within our experience is a combination of these two energies. Krishna's material energy. Apara Prakriti, Maya Shakti, nature. Bhumir Apo Nalo Vayu, earth, water, fire, air. Kam Mano Buddhir Evacha. Either sky, mind, intelligence, and Ahankara Itiyammi, false ego, altogether these 8, 5 gross plus 3 subtle. Bhinna Prakritir Astada constitute my separated material energies. 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, and either including their respective sense objects, their causes, smell, taste, form, touch, and sound. 3 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and false ego. The soul's misidentification with matter and his illusory conception of I and mine. False ego also includes its effects, the 10 senses, nose, tongue, eyes, skin, ear, hands, feet, voice, anus, and genital. Shall I read Prabhuji? 5th one.
Yeah, you can read this one also. You can read.
Okay, Prabhuji. Krishna's spiritual energy, Para Prakriti, Jiva Shakti, living entity. Apareyam itastha anyam prakritim vidime param. Besides this inferior and unconscious energy, know that there is another superior conscious energy of mind. Jiva bhutam mahabhaho Yayedam dharyate jagat. O mighty armed Arjuna, which comprises the living entities who exploit material nature for their enjoyment. The Jiva is also called the Tatastha Sakti or marginal energy of the Lord, because although spiritual and can control the material energy, the Jiva sometimes come under its influence and becomes conditioned, forgetting his real spiritual position. Shall I read
6
first?
1. Yeah, 6 also you can write. 6.
Okay, Bhakti. Krishna is the creator and destroyer. All created beings have their source in these two energies. Everything that exists in this world is a combination of unconscious matter and the conscious spirit. And I am both the origin and the end of everything. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji, can you read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Krishna is the maintainer and the supreme personality. Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. There is no truth and no one superior to me, O conqueror of wealth. Mai sarvam idam protam shutre manigana iva. Everything rests upon me, the supreme shelter, as pearls are strung on a thread. That is, Krishna is the supreme maintainer of the whole universe. Krishna explains how he maintains this world in the next 4 verses. Krishna is not only the source, cause, and basis of everything, he is also the essence of everything. For instance, Krishna said in 7.4 that the element water came from him. Now in 7.8 he says that he is a taste of that water that quenches our thirst and is the active principle or essence of water. The taste is
Yeah, Mataji, scroll on. Yeah,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
yeah the taste is.
The taste is Krishna's power. Vibhuti. 8 to 11. Krishna is all pervasive and the essence of everything. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the taste of water, O son of Kunti. Prabhasim shashi shuryayo. I am the light of the sun and the moon. Prabhasmi shashi. Sorry. Pranavaha sarva vedeshu. I am the syllable Om in Vedic mantras. Shabdake paurusham rushu. I am the sound in ether. I am the ability in man. Punyo gandha pritivyam cha. I am the natural fragrance of the earth. Tejas chasmi vibhavasu. I am the heat in fire. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. I am the life of all that lives. Tapas chasmi tapasvishu. I am the austerity of all ascetics. Bijam mam sarva bhautanam Vidhi Bharata Sanatanam. I am the original seed of all existence, living beings. Know that, O son of Bharata. Buddhimatam Asmi. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. Tejasvinam Aham. I am the prowess of all powerful men. Balam Balavattam Chaham Kamaraga Vivarjitam. I am the strength of the strong, which is free from selfish desire and attachment. Dharma viruddho bhutesu kamosmi bharatarush shabha. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principle, O Lord of Bharatas. Arjuna. All the above 14 examples are present within the 3 modes of material nature, which are aspects of Krishna's material energy, Maya, and Krishna is beyond them. Having said that he is the both cause and essence of everything, Krishna summarizes that even the 3 modes of material nature that control this world are under his control. Krishna is beyond the modes. All states of being are the modes of material nature: goodness, sattva, passion, rajas, and ignorance, tamas, are manifested by energy Maya, but I am not under their influence.
Knowledge about Krishna should lead to surrender unto Krishna, but ignorance of the greatness caused due to attachment to his inferior material energy is an obstacle to such a surrender. Having said that, having said about himself being distinct from his two energies, inferior and superior, Lord Krishna will now explain the importance of taking his shelter along with those who do and do not seek his shelter. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mother. It's a beautiful section. No? Krishna is giving all of his energies different. I am heat in fire. I'm prowess in powerful man. So all the beautiful things. So everything is come from him, and he is establishing himself. Everything is given by me. The ultimate things. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Aryan Prabhu or Praveen Prabhu or Puja Mata. Who else there?
Prabhuji, only me today. My father has office today.
Okay. Who would like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. 13 to 19. Surrendering unto Lord Krishna. The Jeevas are deluded by the modes, and thus cannot understand me, who am untouched by the modes and exhaustible. Tribir gunam mayer bhaver, ebhiv sarvam idam jagat, mohitam na bhijati mam ebhya param avyayam. Transcending Maya by surrendering to Krishna. Daivi hi aisa guna mai, mamam Maya duratyaya. This divine energy of mind, the Maya, consisting of the three material modes, is difficult to overcome. Mam eva ye prapadyante. But those who have surrendered unto me, Mayam etam taranti te, can easily cross over this Maya. Release from bondage. Another meaning of guna is rope. The conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion in this world. A man bound by the hands and feet, cannot free himself. He must be held by someone who is not bound. Bhakti Yoga can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of the illusionary energy, can release the conditioned soul from bondage. If surrendering to Krishna is a solution to cross all the entangling material laws, then why don't all people surrender unto him? 15. Four types of duskrin, dus, duskriness. Impious people who do not surrender to Krishna. Namam duksritino mudhad prapadyante naradhama mayaya parta jnana ashuram bhavam ashrita mudam. Animalistic fools who work hard solely for material sense pleasure, which is available for animals too. Nara Adhama, lowest of mankind. Human who lose their chance to revive their lost relation with God, they give up bhakti even after practicing it. Mayaya Aparata Jnana, deluded speculators. Despite having studied the scriptures, their knowledge is stolen by Maya and they think of the God to be ordinary human. Ashuram Bhavam Ashrita, demoniac atheists, envious of God. 16. Four types of sukritas, pious people who worship bhajante Krishna and eventually surrender prapadyante unto Krishna. Chaturvidva bhajante mam jnana sukritno arjuna artho jijinasur arthati jnana cha bharatar sabha. Artha, the distressed. Example, Gajendra. Jijnasu, the inquisitive. Example, Sanakari Rishi. Arthrarthi, the seeker of wealth. Example, Dhruva. Jnani, the seeker of knowledge of Lord Krishna. Example, Sukadeva Goswami. Sukritnas are pious people who follow the scriptural principles, social and moral codes, the rule of Varna, Shrama, and worship Krishna. Probably should I read more? Okay. Types of Bhakti. Krishna describes the first two types in chapters 7 to 12. Kevala Bhakti is unalloyed devotional service performed only to please Lord Krishna without any selfish motives, described on 7.1, 8.14, 9.13, 9.22, etc. It is also called Anaya Bhakti, Kinchana Bhakti, or Uttama Bhakti, that results in the devotee becoming an associate of the Lord with Dasya, Sakya, and other rasas. Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti is bhakti mixed with tendencies for karma, jnana or yoga, but bhakti is more prominent than one's other desire. The four sukritnas of the are of this category. The first three types of sukritnas have karma mishra bhakti, and the last one has jnana mishra bhakti. Later, yoga mishra bhakti will also be described in 8.12. Guni Bhuta Bhakti is bhakti mixed with tendencies for karma, jnana, yoga, and so on, with bhakti as secondary element. It is seen in the karmis, jnanis, and yogis who predominantly desire result for their action. Bhukti and Mukti. Jnani is the best of the four Sukritnas because he constantly Nitya Yukta thinks of me and serves me alone, Eka Bhakti. I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. While the first three types of Sukritnas serve Krishna because Krishna fulfills their desires, a Jnani serves Krishna wanting to know about him and without material desire. So Jnani is the best. A Jnani searching after knowledge realizes that he is different from his material body. Upon further advancement, he knows the Brahman and Paramatma. When fully purified, he realizes that his constitutional position is to be the eternal servant of Supreme God Krishna. Although Krishna said that Jnani is dear to him, he loves all four types of Sukritna devotees. After all, they approach Krishna. Though they have material desires, all of them are magnanimous, Udhara, in giving me love, but Jnani, who is in knowledge of on me, is exceedingly dear to me, and like my own self. Being engaged in my service, Yuktatma, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. Krishna said that Jnana Bhakti is fixed in him as a supreme goal, and thus he attains him. But how long does Jnani take to become qualified as a pure devotee? Echoing the 7.3, Krishna now describes how rare it is for the Jnani to attain such a high level of devotion. The rarity of a pure devotee, Kevala Bhakta. Bahunam Jnanaman Jnanam Ante. After many births and deaths, Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. He who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all pervading, as surrenders to me by devotee association. Sa Mahatma Su Durlabha. Such a great surrendered soul, Mahatma is very rare. Destination of Sukritnas. The Arthas, the Arthartis, and Jnyasus. After experiencing material pleasure for many lives, finally in one birth, find these pleasures distasteful, and by association with pure devotees gain knowledge of Krishna's Swarupa, becoming Jnanavan, and surrenders to Krishna, and they ultimately attain Krishna. If worshipping Krishna makes the Sakama Bhaktas successful in this way, what happens if they worship the Devatas, demigods, to remove their distress or fulfill their desires? Krishna explained this in the next four verses. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Sandhya Mataji, are you there?
Section. Thank you.
Sandhya Mataji? Prabhuji, should I read this section?
Yes, please. Let us
22
complete. I mean, how many pages there, Mataji?
Total are 11 pages. We are on 7th page ending.
834. It's up to us.
Yeah, let me try to
And
finish it like in a fast pace.
let us read, then.
I'll read fast.
Yeah.
20 to 25, demigod worship and impersonalism. Having described the four types of people who do and do not surrender unto him, Krishna now describes the position of those who surrender to someone else instead of him. In 7.20 to 23, he describes surrender to demigods. In 7.24 to 25, he describes the improper surrender of impersonalists. Lord Krishna is hungry for love of his devotees. Therefore, he describes his devotees as udara, magnanimous or generous or charitable in giving him that love. Krishna describes Jnani Bhakti to be his own self, but he considers Kevala Bhakta, pure devotee, more dear to him than himself. Thus, pure devotee is the highest. Demigod worshippers. Who does demigod worship? Those whose intelligence is stolen by material desires, kames taiste kritagyana. Surrender unto demigods, prapatyante anya devata, adopting various rules mentioned in the scriptures under the control of their own low natures or desires. Those who worship Krishna with material desires, sakama bhaktas, get liberated by the power of devotion to Krishna, but those who worship devatas, desiring immediate happiness, continue to take birth, being averse to taking shelter of Krishna. I give faith and results to them. I make their faith steady in the worship of the particular demigod, and thus they attain their respective desires. But in actuality, it is I who bestow those benefits. God gave independence to everyone, doesn't interfere with it. As the supersoul in everyone's heart, he understands their desires, facilitates and directs them to particular demigods for fulfillment of their desires. Demigods are powerful, but their power comes from Krishna. They cannot independently bestow boons without Krishna's sanction. Results of demigod worship are perishable. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpa medhasam. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and the results they obtain are limited and temporary. Devan Deva Yajo Yanti. Those who worship the demigods go to their planets. But Bhakta Yanti Mam Api. But my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Diverse destinations. One cannot attain the same destination by worshipping anyone. It is very logical that a person attains that he worships. The positions of demigods are temporary, so how can the results of their worship be permanent? Thus, it is said there here that the devotees of devatas are less intelligent, alpa medhasam. The Supreme Lord Krishna is eternal, and therefore the results of bhakti unto him are also eternal. The demigods are Krishna's limbs, so worshipping them should yield the same result as worshipping Krishna directly. But it is often not so because the less intelligent demigod worshippers do not see the relationship between the demigods and the Supreme Lord, and worship them as independent lords who fulfill material desires. But those who worship the demigods with the understanding that they are the limbs of the Supreme Lord's body obtain infinite eternal results. Impersonalists. Impersonalists are those who think that the ultimate absolute truth is impersonal, devoid of any form and attributes, and that it temporarily takes a personal form as Krishna. See also 9.11. Thus, they consider the form and activities of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, to be illusory, Maya, and hence they are called Mayavadis. So, although they are detached from matter and adopt to various spiritual practices, they do not understand Lord Krishna. But from the Gita, it is clear that neither the demigods nor Krishna are impersonal. They are all persons. Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he has his own planet, and the demigods have theirs. Impersonalists are unintelligent. Avyaktam, vyaktim apannam, manyante mam abuddhaya. The foolish think that I, the Supreme Person, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. They think that the impersonal formless Brahman has manifested an illusory form as myself. Param bhavam ajananto mama vyayam anuttamam. They do not know my true nature, form, qualities, and activities, which is imperishable and the finest. So anuttamam means tama means darkness or ignorance. Uttama means one who is beyond ignorance. So that is anuttamam. In the previous verse, Krishna called the demigod worshippers Alpa Medhasa or less intelligent. In this verse, Krishna calls the impersonalists Abuddhaya or unintelligent. They are more worse. If Krishna has eternal form, qualities, and pastimes, then why do we not see things at all times? And why can't the impersonalists who are detached from matter and are therefore also called transcendentalists see Krishna? Krishna reserves the right of not revealing himself to all. Naham prakasa sarvasya. I am not manifest to everyone always like the sun. Yoga maya samavrita. I am covered by my internal potency like the cloud. Mudhoyam nabhijananti. Therefore, the foolish people do not know that Loko mam ajam avyayam. I am unborn and infallible. Even when Krishna was personally present on this planet, only a few people could understand him to be the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Krishna says that, but for his pure devotees, all men consider him to be like themselves. The Lord is not covered by Maya, but our vision of Lord is covered by Maya. The Lord's knowledge is never covered, but he knows the past, present, and future of everything and everyone. Prabhuji, do you want to read?
Yeah, I'll complete it.
Yeah.
26 to 30, from delusion by Maya to devotion to Krishna. The title itself is very nice, no? This Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki jai. 26 to 30, from delusion by Maya to devotion to Krishna. 26. Krishna knows past, present, and future. Vedaham samatitani. I know everything that has happened in the past. Vartamani cha Arjuna. All that is happening in the present, O Arjuna. Bhavishyani cha bhutani. And all things in the future. I know all living entities. Mam tu veda na kaschana. But no one knows me. Linking point. Why no one knows Krishna? Because of delusion and dualities of dishonor and honor, misery and happiness, women and man, good and bad, pleasure and pain, etc. 27. Delusion of the Jeevas. All living entities are born into delusion, sammoham, at the beginning of creation, and are bewildered by dualities, dvandva mohena, arisen from desire, ischa, and hatred, dvesha, continuing from previous life. ఇచ్ఛాద్వేష సముత్తేన ద్వంద్వ మోహేన భారత సర్వభూతాని సమ్మోహం సర్గే యాంతి పరంతప. Linking thing here. Is there anyone who is free from this delusion of dualities and is qualified to manifest devotion to Krishna at all? Krishna answers now. 28 verse. Who can do determined bhakti? Who can do determined bhakti? Yeshantva antagatam papam. One whose sins are eradicated. Jananam punya karmanam. One who acted piously in previous and present lives. Te dvandva moha nirmukta. One who is freed from the dualities of delusion. Bhajante mam drudhavrata. Engages in my service with determination. In 7.16, Krishna spoke of 3 types of Sakama Bhaktas who worship him. Now he describes a 4th type of Sakama Bhakta who desires liberation. 29. Moksha Kami Bhakta. Intelligent persons striving for liberation from old age and death, Jara Marana Mokshaya, take my shelter, Ma Mashritya, in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they know all about Brahman, the self and the transcendental activities, Adhyatmam Karma. Those who know me, Adibhuta, governing principle of material manifestation, Adhidaiva, controller of demigods, and Adhiyajna, Lord of sacrifices, and are in full conscious of me, can understand me even at the time of death. Prayana Kale. In these 2 verses, 7, 29 and 30, Lord Krishna mentioned 7 specific things. Brahma, Adhyama, Karma, Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, Adhiyajna, and remembering him at the time of death. Prayana Kale. Arjuna will ask Krishna about them in the next chapter, 8, chapter 1 to 2. I think it's done. Yeah. This is the last one. Yeah, 6 type of devotees. In this chapter, Krishna described 6 types of devotees. 4 types of Sakama Bhaktas in 7.16, Artha Artharthi and Jnani Jigyasu, and 729 Moksha Kama, Jnani in Moksha Kama, 729 Jnani in 7.16 to 18, and Kevala Bhakta 7.1 and 19. Yeah, Artharthi, Jnani Jigyasu, 729 Moksha Kama, Jnani in 7.16 18, and Kevala Bhakta 7.1 and 19. Only pure devotional service. Okay. Yeah. Lastly, he has given we have to note to find where he has said this 6 types of
Yeah.
devotees.
You should have prepared for exam from Subodhini. I didn't do that. You would have
We'll let
scored
us go
better.
through it then. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're better, right? Yeah, we'll see.
Yes, sir.
Chalo.
Okay.
Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna.
much. Yeah, thank you very much, Matai, for connecting. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaः. Ananta koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada translated the Quran ki jai. Srimad
Jai.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Idai Gaur Hari Premanande Hari Hari
Hare
Bol.
Hare Bol.
Have a happy Krishna conscious Thursday. Guruvaram actually. In ISKCON
Yes, sir.
temples, Guruvaram every Thursday, Prabhupada lecture they put after
Oh.
Guru prayer, Guru Vandana, Sri Guru Charana. After that song, they put this his own lecture in ISKCON temples every Thursday.
Okay. Nice.
Okay,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Have a good day.
Announcement.
Bye-bye.